What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, VOD review in K3 Soju, because honestly, this guy's a beast. This guy has made so many of the last final lobbies in TPC. I think the statistic is 6 of 8. Sorry to disappoint some Kai Watanabe. Sorry to disappoint you out there. 6 of 8 final lobbies of the TPC. I mean, he's one of the best NA competitive players that exists out there. And he's got a bit of his mojo back. Sorry to flash this 6th here, but almost 1200 LP, pretty solid. You know, not quite rank 1 territory, but definitely high up there. And third piece of this little sandwich that we're stacking up here is that he played a line that we got to talk about today because it got buffed up really hard on the patch. I have been playing this line a decent bit myself and finding a lot of success with it. It's very straightforward. It's not Leona Printer, but check out that nice spot there. That was already 4 Leonas. Leona Printer looking pretty decent. So we start the game off here. I mean, loot singularity, not amazing here. Nothing really to write home about. Salvage Fin, not great either. None of these amazing. But he does have Earth as an option here. Earth, it's an interesting augment because it kind of, what you take from Earth usually indicates what is a strong emblem, what's a strong spatula just to play towards in general on the patch. And Soju is, he's going to look into a scout node for a second, but he is going to grab the Earth here. And his idea from this spot, interestingly enough, you know, in previous patches, it would have been Dark Star. You know, maybe we would look for like a Reforger and play some kind of like Voyager, Rogue Spat, like in a Corki or something like that. But his idea here is that we're going to play this into Space Groove. We're going to make Nasher's Tooth here. And we have the Rod open as well. We have Nasher's JG, which are fantastic items for Anami down the line. And this is going to be a vertical Space Groove game. So Space Groove got buffed pretty hard this patch. The 7 Space Groove got buffed. Orn got some extra HP to work with, and Nami got buffed as well. She got a mana buff. So the line is actually significantly better compared to last patch. And with that 7 Space Groove buff, now it really feels worth it to go up to 7 Space Groove to hit that cap of the comp that normally you'd be stuck on 5 Space Groove for a while. Sometimes eventually you'd make it to 7, but usually you would just never make it there unless you had multiple spatulas, just because it wasn't worth the investment of getting there. Because there's a lot of crummy Space Groove units, right? If you're playing 7, that means you're playing like the Teemo and the Samira and all this kind of stuff, which normally you're not so excited about playing. But if 7 Space Groove is really strong and worth investing in, then it certainly makes sense to play towards. So we're going to sell off the Talon here. Just saying he's not really that great holder of Nashers, and now we have the Gwen, so we can play towards that. And really just want to play our kind of strongest board here. This is actually a little bit of a weak board here. Certainly missing the Rogue on this board and just planning a random Joseph Gath here doesn't really make that big of a difference, though. And honestly, Soju looks like he's opening himself up to a loss streak in this spot here, saying, I could just lose these fights, guarantee the Space Groove Spat. Anvil transformation does look quite amazing for guaranteeing the spats. The only downside is that we are now kind of down the upside of getting the item anvils that we would be from, you know, loss streaking here. He is going to take the tier here, but this is going to transform into an anvil here, but it does give him the Maokai, I guess, which is like kind of fun. I mean, no, doesn't really matter here. And he's very likely, I mean, he's looking at different options here, but yeah, I mean, he's gonna throw Space Groove into the board. I mean, there's no reason why you would make a Nashers with half JG open if you're not thinking of playing Space Groove here. Rotates into this guy here, who low-key, I mean, they're not actually inting very hard. I'm pretty surprised by this board here from Ego, and it's gonna result in them winning the fight with calculated loss. This is pretty egregious here, but I think Soju will take it. He'll take the 4 loss for free. I mean, his board was pretty trash, but I mean, it was definitely like you certainly could have entered that board from Soju. I'm not sure what that guy's doing, but I mean, you take those. This is looking. All I'm saying is, when I play my loss streak games, I am sweating my self off. Trying to, you know, make sure that I keep my loss streak, and that guy there just rolls into Soju and loses. I will say I did have a hilarious game today where there was a player who was giga loss streaking playing Anima, and it was like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? And then 3-2 at the last second, I changed my mind and took Cosmic Restart, sold my entire board, played a garbage board, and I accidentally griefed their loss streak and like low-key saved the lobby. So all I'm saying is, keep that one, keep the Cosmic Restart out in your mind. That's actually something that you can go for as well. Pick up the 4 Space Groove, which, you know, is not bad. It's not a break point, but It does get the Orin onto the board, which is one of the best units to find. This buffed up guy here, we are going to level it for just Rogue here and dig for the Space Groove spat, and we find that immediately here. We got all these anvils here, so we can start taking for JG, and then some tank items very likely. We'll see what we want to prioritize here. I guess we still need to go for another Nash as well, right? So we can make double Nash JG here, yeah, and we reach it. The only problem is he has slammed these items onto Kaisa, so it's a tad bit awkward. But hey, no harm, no foul. We just have a random Nashers sitting on bench here, and we've completed essentially BIS Nami here. Ooh, restart mission is, I mean, I don't know that you can actually take it here. I mean, the tower sounds quite good in a spot like this for a comp that likes to play for longer fights, but he's gonna grab the boxing lessons. I mean, this looks really, really good as well after we roll it and find it here. HP, good on Space Groovians because they get that extra healing, and so, you know, it synergizes pretty well. I'm kind of surprised, yeah, I was about to say that he doesn't just move items up to the Gwen here, because I think she's gonna use the AP items a lot better, and that is what we are going to go for here. And yeah, he's just gonna take the HP here, have the Gwen do some work. Still not the world's strongest board here, but he's playing K3 Soju TFT. He's opening until he has to start building a board, and now he's like, maybe we can start saving some HP. Seems like a decent enough idea, and especially if we find the Gwen too, we can really start saving some HP. This Gwen unit is going to do a ton of work in the early game. This Gwen unit also received a buff. You got some RMR buffed up, so that's another, you know, buff to the early game, buff to even kind of like the mid game. You'll oftentimes play this Gwen unit on your board. You can, even if you have a ton of items, itemize her. Usually those will move over to like Blitzcrank late game, but Gwen, I mean, honestly, a great unit. I'm a little surprised she got buffed, but I think it's because there's no like Gwen reroll line. I mean, there's no 2-cost reroll in general, but hey, maybe that'll change someday. Next patch, I do know there is talk of a B patch, or I guess it's a C patch at this point, occurring. So if that occurs, that'll be interesting to see. Probably just a hit to like, I doubt that they're gonna like buff up a lot of 2-costs and try to make 2-cost reroll viable, but probably just a hit to like the Leona printer stuff, and a hit to, okay, I don't know how to transition this. We hit Nami. Oh, a hit of Nami is what we just got here. We found a Nami, which is a huge upgrade onto this board here. So now we can just start holding these items on her immediately here. Can throw the Fizz onto the board as well and just Space Groove him. Seems decent enough. And yeah, this Nami unit buffed up on her mana and the 7 Space Groove buff. Obviously not, you know, present right here, but the mana buff to Nami, very, very real and very important when you are playing 5 Space Groove, 7 Space Groove, because, you know, 5 Space Groove has that effect where when you're entering the groove, you're getting extra ADAP. Nami has that Space Groove effect where when she's casting, she's entering the groove. And so making her cast more frequently means that she's entering the groove more, she's getting more AD and AP. So this is, you know, for 5 Space Groove, all intents and purposes, it is not only a buff to her mana, but also a buff to her main way of generating AP for herself. So it's actually kind of like a double buff if you think about it in that way. And you can see just Nami 1 dealing almost 7k damage there. And this is not even the 7 Groovians that we got going on here. I will say we're a little... It's a slightly awkward spot. We definitely need to wait until 4-2 here. Had we not hit this Nami, it would have been a lot lower. But getting the Nami off Carousel, that's what it's all about, because now we actually get to stabilize on a little bit higher HP and can probably chill the one fight. Gonna look for the Ionic Spark here to guarantee the MR Shred, and then some kind of heal cut is likely to come at some point, but we do also need some real tank items, I will say here. Pick up, I mean, we have the Teemo and the Samira here. We could play 7 Space Groove. He's gonna opt to make this and get another cloak here, actually, which is a little awkward. You can make, oh, he's gonna make the BT here, okay, for Ribbon, and then keep the belt open for that aforementioned heal cut at some point here. Rotate into a Cho list board, and you can just see, I mean, this fight's actually kind of close, even though Soju's board is kind of like Nami and a pile of garbage on top of it. All right, last augment here. Don't think any of these look very good. Plot armor is at least decent. Armor and MR for these guys with a bunch of healing and stuff like that makes sense. We do pick up some pieces of it. We do find the Riven here. Do find Nami 2 here, and we find the Blitzcrank. You don't have to feel too bad about that. So we're going to pick this up here, throw the Nunu onto the board here, throw Nasus onto the board here, and this is going to be the board for now. The Spark can move up to the Blitzcrank, which is really nice. Normally this can go onto Orin here, but it's really nice on the Blitzcrank here, because whenever Blitz dies, he will go into his, or when he, you know, gets low, he will drop aggro, stay alive, and still be proccing that Ionic Spark for you guys. So it's really, really good. All right. Looking now at the board here, this is where I think this new Space Groove, this buffed 7 Space Groove comes into effect here. We're going to opt to play 7 on 8. And After the buffs to Space Groove, I've looked at the statistics a lot. I mean, definitely, if you find Blitzcrank, you should be playing 7 Space Groove on level 8. It's just very... It's very easy to fit. You have a little bit of frontline with the extra Vanguard that you fit in there, and honestly, Ornn is a pretty good frontliner on this board in general. So it's very, very, very good. I would say when you're in a spot like this, you just play 7 Space Groove. So you're getting the little bug here where his options disappear, but he's just gonna take Glove, once more items to play around. And I mean, honestly, yeah, this looks amazing here. We can go for Morello, throw it onto the Blitzcrank here, though I guess it doesn't matter what items he picks, but he can now go back for the Morello, throw it onto Blitz here, and get that heal cut made. And now he pops this one. Actually, you're supposed to wait. Well, I mean, it's actually kind of hard. You could wait to pop this anvil until you get to minion round, but you can't roll the treasure dragon and also look at the anvil at the same time. So I guess it's actually, yeah, it's fine to pop the anvil now and just have that information going into treasure dragon. I think it makes sense. But you can see here, this 7 Space Groove board with really no frontline is just clearing people. This is the variation that Soju is playing, where he just fits the Pantheon on the board for Timebreaker and for Replicator. Obviously, on the old school version, you would play Thomas Kench on this board, but new school, I really do think you just play for the 7 Space Groove on level 8, and it does insane work. And obviously, level 8 becomes a lot easier to fit in. You can usually level for stuff like Bastion on level 9 and make your board a lot tankier. And usually, you end up playing for the Ornn as your main tank, who, once again, this guy got buffed this patch, so he's a lot better to play around these days. Doesn't look like anything to me. I mean, I guess it's like a Nashers and something, but what is he hovering? Okay. QS, Declaw JG. Declaw JG. Low key. He's going to roll over it and then take the Crown Guard Vow here just to get some items over onto the Blitzcrank here, and then he can Crown Guard the Riven here, make sure that she stays AP because we want AP Riven in the spot, right? We have Ionic Spark, so anything that we can shred for is good. He's actually going to roll down a good bit here, looking for the... Wow. Huh. Yeah, he actually... rolls it insanely deep here just to look for the Ornn too, because he's saying, you know, we won a lot last stage on this board, but we need a real front line to actually make it through stage 5, and it comes at a pretty high price. We have to roll an insane amount here to actually pick up this upgrade, and Soju is clearly a little unhappy about that, but hey, we do at least find the upgrade here, so that's nice. We also do not have the Riven 2 yet either, which is it's a little rough. I will say, when I was perusing the stats, you know, obviously, if you die on level 8 in any game of TFT, you're usually not having a good time, so the stats are a little bit wonky. But if you do filter for level 8 specifically, it does actually like having a Rammus on your board on level 8 a lot. Just so the idea being you can just kind of have that front line then until you do reach level 9, because normally on 8, especially if you are playing 7 Space Groove, you run into this issue that Soju's running into here, where you just kind of have a lack of front line. That's why you need to find the Ornn 2. Kind of hilarious that he does not have a single frontline item actually slammed onto the Ornn here, and he's just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's basically 9 damage items. Vow at least is a little bit of tankiness onto the Blitzcrank, but you know, Blitzcrank is not a tank. He is a damage dealer, so that's a little bit crazy. But at least it's CC. That'll disrupt the enemy board a little bit. And you can see, by the way, the CC from Riven, or the CC from Blitzcrank is so good in this comp. I mean, Blitz punches somebody to the back. If you can punch their main tank, which is what you should always be positioning for in this comp, then, okay, we must take a tank item. I mean, I guess Vow, Crown Guard or Vow can move over. Yeah, okay. This works. This makes a lot of sense. I was a little upset, but I think it I think it definitely works here. We do have the Shen here, who is the obvious level 9 on this board. We're still quite far from 9, though, so we are going to have to sit here for a little bit. Our Riven's going to get punched by that Blitz, actually, which is a bit scary, but you can see this Inami unit, just once she gets a few casts down, just one more cast here, blows up the entire board, 15,000 damage. This Nami buff, I feel like, actually just makes her go crazy. And once again, especially on this board, it's just this board only cares about the Nami getting the cast off. But yeah, I mean, at this point, can cut out a 7 Space Groove. This is going to be our board here. Just need a position, try to get that Blitzcrank in front of main tank here. The rest of the lobby looking pretty strong here. I mean, this is just a classically strong Corki build with with kind of like BIS, everything going on here. And sadly, that's a Riven wrapping straight to our backline, which means that we're going to lose this fight. Honestly, I think we could have won this fight had the Riven not wrapped to backline, but our tank was on the opposite side of the Riven, gave herself the opportunity to kill our front line. We also have this very weird boxing lessons front line with all these units on the first row, and so it's actually very easy for somebody to end up wrapping there, which bad news for Soji here. But good news is we're almost to level 9, which is going to be a huge upgrade here. We can take a tank item, though that was a pretty scary board. That must have been Setsuko's board that he just hovered there with the Vex 2 and everything. He's going to opt to take QSS Blitz and then move the Vow over. Wow. Yeah, I mean, CC immunity, not bad at all on a board like this. I doubt that we can beat Setsuko's board here, so we're just going to have to kill as many units as possible. Our board's good, and Space Groove's good, but not quite this good that we can beat a Vex 2, Blitzcrank 2, everything 2. So we are going to take a quick loss here. This Fish player is going to lose, though, so top 3 locked in for Soju, and now we can go to level 9. The Shen just perfect on this board, activates Bastion. The Armored Marsh so big for this board that has all this HP, and it's Bastion for our main tank, who is the Ornn. So you're basically always playing this here. Gonna move Riven a little bit back just so that she doesn't immediately take aggro here, and we do rotate into the ghost of this guy. Our Ornn's in a bit of a better spot here to prevent the wrapping, and so yeah, he does eat aggro here. Our Riven's doing pretty well. Nami doing pretty well. Oh my god, she doesn't kill there, but she is going to pick up a win there. Nice. Wait, and that player lost, and we're about to rotate into their real. So this is the fight for I mean, you can't downgrade anything here, sadly. Oh, what did he just... Oh, he just sold a Shen for a Blitz. I mean, okay, whatever. There's 3 Blitzes out. I don't know if this is exactly the correct call here. But okay, we're going to rotate into this guy. This is the fight for the top placement. Also, this guy has 6 Ramesses, which is interesting. But we'll see. We need to keep Riven alive, and we need to not get wrapped on here. We did not get wrapped. Riven is still alive here. The Blitz lived for a long time. We need one more big cast, and we do get it. Get the fight win. Drops down to 2 HP, so not dead quite yet. The Warmogs looks amazing here. He is going to roll down. Yeah, I have to imagine that we should have just made the Shen 2 for free. By the way, you can eventually move Space Groove Emblem up to Shen on this board. A bunch of HP, a bunch of attack speed for that guy, and then move your damage items up to Blitz. We're in this weird spot where we have so many items that it kind of, we can itemize everybody here. Soju on the wrong side for killing a lot of units, though he is still gonna kill a lot here. And wow, actually, wait a minute. He's gonna win this fight? Okay, that's not bad. This Tommy player goes down, so that's top 2 locked in for Soju. And if he can win another fight convincingly, he will be done here. Or, I mean, we can go to another fight and go to stage 7. I mean, the thing that's really smart here from Soju is that he has Nami same side as a lot of this carry stuff here, though we might get swapped on here. You really want to splash on the enemy, especially things like melee carries. Not that many here, but that last fight, Riven wrapped and then Nami splashed onto backline, and Riven plus Nami just ended up killing those units. Nami gonna get a big cast on backline here. Needs one more cast. No, just barely. Oh my god. I mean, it was a valiant effort actually from Soju, and you can see why he was so high on this comp, and you know, he just straight up took Space for Emblem and forced it from here. I mean, look at this board from Setsuko here. Just everything upgraded. Leona 3 probably printed with some extra HP from the Steadfast. Has Bard 2, Sona 2, and Vex 2 on this board. Obviously not a lot of combat augments, but I mean, of course, he made it to this board and the Blitz 2. And Soju almost won this fight. I mean, he won the last one. I think this fight, Loki came down to positioning. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's... I think the Space Groove line really has some sauce after the buffs to it. So, have you guys played Space Groove? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of it? Subscribe if you enjoy my videos. As always, like the video, helps out a lot and is completely free. And yeah, check out my Twitch where I am live. I did a nice long stream today, and by long, I mean over 4 hours, which is pretty good for me. Check out my Metafy for all your coaching needs, and that's about it. All right, see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching as always. Bye-bye.